Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Ivory Mermaid. I'm really excited to start this. I have a track record for starting a bunch of hobbies and then I never really go through with them. And so I thought maybe a good way for me to hold myself accountable would be to make little videos of just like showing my progress for different hobbies or projects or whatever. And like this, I will hold myself accountable to it and hopefully, stick through it a bit more. If not, then I think it's still a win that I tried something new and then I can just either push it aside, like, I don't want to do this anymore and whatnot. And what I'm hoping for is that if you're like me and liking to try different things, but always find yourself not really following through with it, maybe we can just, try these hobbies together and just like talk about it. I don't know. Yeah, so there's really no set format for this. And so you're probably wondering why I have these planners. So for me, having a planner and journaling, that's kind of been my one consistent hobby over time. And so it's just something I've just always enjoyed. It just makes me so happy, like having the pens, the inks, the notebooks, the stickers, like all of it. I love it. So I thought this was like a good place to start because I do love to plan stuff. And so this way I can, maybe keep track of all the things I kind of want to try out this year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. But I think this would be kind of like a nice, like consistent thing potentially over time. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So okay, I think I'm gonna. I have these two notebooks. They're both hobonichis. This is the Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and then this is the Hobonichi Cousin in the Han edition. And so I was using this whole year, and I loved the Weeks Mega. Like I love that it's so tiny, and I love how like it has so many note pages in the back. Like oh my gosh, so many. So I just felt like the possibilities were like really endless. But like I want to say like halfway through the year, I did kind of stop updating all of this just because I think I had so much going on in so many different places, and it was just hard for me to remember where everything is. Like that was like I found myself like I had like a bunch of lists of like like movies to keep track of that I watched over the year, and then I would just forget to update it. So what I'm hoping is I'm gonna switch over to this bigger book and I guess kind of use it like as both a journal and kind of like my commonplace book at the same time. I I think what I found like a main issue is just not having a lot of space to really do a lot of brain dumping, and that's what I'm hoping this will solve. So I'm gonna go over my 2023 book for now, and then because I still haven't really decided what I'm doing for 2024 completely. But yeah, so pretty much basic setup. I have so like these monthlies, I thought they were so nice, but I like tried different like ideas to like what I should use it for. And like, I tried a monthly to-do list and like putting appointments, but thing is I had a lot of this information in the weekly section, which I'll show later. And so because I was writing the same thing in two places, I would just like not update it. And over here, I was pretty consistent in the weeks. And so like over time, as you can see, I just stopped filling these in completely. So yeah, that's kind of like where one thing failed. And then to go over into like my weeks, like how I planned everything out. I actually really liked this layout because it was like super functional for me. So I'll go out by, section by section. So here on the side, I like to track my weight, the exercise that I did, like if I walked my dog, In the middle, I liked having the weather for that day, and like I would just draw a little doodle. And then down here, I would just like write down what I watched that day. Like, so like here, I was watching Good Mythical Morning. And so that was pretty consistent here. And then over here is where I would put down like all my meetings and whatnot, and like any appointments or whatever, just to keep track of for that day. And then here, I listed out all the foods I ate. So my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And then here I had my water intake, and that's just, so pretty much this was like all food and drinks and whatnot that I would keep track of here and whatnot. And then on this half of the page, I had my habit tracker over here. And then in this middle section was my running task list for the week. So I had that divided up into work and personal. And then here was my goal section. I really liked it because like I had kind of color codes for each of my goals. And so that's kind of how I kept track. And I had like, tiny little subtasks for each one that I need to complete. And I really kind of like that. I don't know, I just liked how it looks like with that little touch of highlighter color. And then down here is where I had what I was reading for the week and any games that I was playing. So I like really love this layout, and it worked for me for like quite a bit. Yeah, like, oh my gosh. It like makes me so happy. But then, as you could see, in June is where I stopped altogether. I had a baby, so that's why. I just realized, I didn't realize at the time, but I had so many tiny things that I was drawing. And so, like, even though the setup overall took me only about like 20 minutes, it was, I guess it was still a lot, having a newborn and then having to do this. It was kind of crazy. So, so yeah, that's kind of why like I fell off for a bit. And I was like, definitely like I have a lot of setups, but then I would just like not fill in anything. So I think overall though this setup did work, but I found myself over time just like wishing I had more room, for like my to-dos. I think I like really wish I had specifically like a to-do for the day, because like I like a lot of these big tasks for the week, I like to just further break them down into even tinier tasks, because then I feel like I am more accomplished. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but yeah, I think if I had room to do a daily to do, because like this space was just too tiny, especially since I was already writing like all my meetings and appointments there. So it just wasn't going to work. So yeah, I think that was like another reason why I decided to shift over to the cousin instead. So that's how I use my weekly layout. And then here for the notepad section, what I originally had done was I divvied up here like the first half to just give me space like for every week, to be able to write like a little daily reflection. So yeah, like here I was doing like Monday through Sunday, and like I had originally wanted to, like have more pictures that I would print out and whatnot, but I have never got my printer ink refilled, so that's why that never happened. And it's just like a lot of text. And then also, like, as much as I enjoyed writing these little reflections at the end of the day, I like constantly found myself like I would skip a few days, and then what I would do is like I would go back and like refill it, like even though it was like a week later, and I was just like trying to remember like just to fill it out. And like I don't know, I kind of want to have more of like in the moment journaling. So like here, like I just completely missed out the rest of the week, and then this is like I just got so behind that I just kind of gave up in the end. So yeah, I think I just put too much pressure, especially by like, putting all these tabs. Like I was putting too much pressure on myself to fill out all these like daily sections. And it was just like, I know I could have used these pages for something else, but like the fact that I had these tabs and like I made everything set out to be just for like dailies, I don't know. I felt like I couldn't use it for anything else, which is why I didn't. And then they ended up being blank. And then, like, because they've been blank for these past, like, for the rest of the half of the year, um, that's why I just didn't use them anymore. So this was definitely a wasted space. I think next year, definitely not going to put that type of pressure on myself. Um, and yeah, so that's what this section was. And then later, I had my collection section and like my all my goals, and I like loved this section so much. So here, okay, this is how I started off. Let's see. So like here was like my ideal day, like Monday through Friday, and then like the weekend. Obviously never really worked out, but it was just like a fun little experiment, I guess, to do. On this page here, a lot of times I find myself like sitting on the couch not knowing what to do for the day. And so I just thought I would make a list of like things I can do if I ever have free time. But I think my problem was like I would forget that this page exists and then I would still end up sitting on the couch doing nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, okay. But yeah, what else? Yeah, like here I also had like what my morning routine looks like, afternoon, evening. It was just like honestly, I just found like a bunch of like I guess they're from like bullet journaling, spread ideas that I just if I liked it, I did it for myself. But the thing is, I found myself like really not using things. So like here, like this cleaning tracker, I loved it so much. Like I got it from somewhere. I'll try to find where I got it from, but I think it's been on Pinterest like all over the place. But yeah, like I just did it because it was pretty, and it just like every time I look at it, even though I don't like I've used it only maybe a couple of times, but it's just it brings me joy to look at. So I don't know, maybe I'll bring that over here just because it's fun to look at. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm definitely the type I'll do something just because I mean it's aesthetically pleasing to look at, even though I don't end up using it most of the time. And then these next sections, I had like so I was trying to do a running list of all the movies I saw for the year, all the TV shows I was watching, the books. Oh my gosh, I really liked this, just like making it look like a mini bookshelf. Trying to keep a list of podcasts, arts and crafts, video games. And yeah, the problem here was that, like, for instance, movies and TV shows, I was already tracking that, in my weekly section, like here where I would put all of everything that I'm watching. So I wouldn't write it down again. So again, just going back to trying to find like just one place to put everything and not, you know, put that pressure on myself to try to have things filled out in multiple places just because like it looks pretty. So yeah. So we'll see. Obviously, really bad at reading. I only have two books, and I didn't even finish the second one yet. So we'll see. But I'll probably still include this and maybe make this my only like reading tracker and like forgo like that daily. Where is it? Should just mark this. Yeah, and just forgo like that, weekly. Like, what am I reading this week? But I really did enjoy that section. It was fun. So, what I want my main area of focus to be for this planner next year is actually goals and kind of like set up my whole planner around the goals. And I think that would be nice. Here, I was like supposed to list out the goals, but like I already had it kind of listed out in this like mind map that I did. And then like each of these main goals that I had, I made like a separate tab. and I kind of like sectioned it off. But again, like, you know, dedicating a specific amount of space like to each of these, like a lot of times I wasn't using it, and then like a lot of times I just wanted space for brainstorming, but like I already like listed out what I wanted these pages to be. Like I wanted this to be a list of tutorials that I did, but you know, I never kept track of that. You know, like for my health and fitness, I wanted this to be weight and measurements, workout routines, but like I don't know, I just again putting that pressure on myself to dedicate specific pages to specific things, and then like, you know, who knows what mindset I am in that day. Like I probably need something else, and so I kind of want, what I'm hoping for this is that it'll let me be, I guess, creative and like not be stuck to one way of doing things. So yeah, that's what I am hoping for with the cousin. But yeah, like I will definitely be bringing like a lot of these pages back. But to go back to the goals, what I did here was I had like a yearly overview of like kind of like the tinier tasks of the overall goal that I should complete in each month. As you can see, I just did the first quarter and then just forgot about it, which is the theme, I guess, of my life. But yeah, like I love this quarterly setup. Like I had each of my main goals like highlighted, and then underneath were like tiny subtasks and what I was supposed to work on, I guess, like highlighted for the specific week in the quarter. And then I was also trying to highlight like the specific days in this tiny calendar of like, you know, which goal is happening, like what specific days potentially. I think for the most part, I do kind of want to still incorporate this in my cousin, just because I like seeing that, because then I can see like what weeks am I being kind of ridiculous, like and thinking I'm gonna accomplish all these tiny tasks. Um, so yeah, I think another thing I need to do is just lower my number of goals, like maybe try to have no more than like three. So that's another plan, is just like tone it down a bit. I know I can get a little crazy, but we're a little over ambitious. But here we are. It's still fun to do, I guess. But yeah, I do like this overview. I think it's like nice kind of to see everything. And then like one thing I will do differently if I bring this over here is I want to like, yes, I want to color in what I plan on working on what days, but then I also want to find a way to mark like what I actually did. I think that would be nice, because then I could see like when I'm planning in the next quarter, for instance, I can say like, okay, this worked out, this didn't. I think it'll just help me when I review myself overall. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, that's how I like stopped it, but that's just because I got so overwhelmed after giving birth and having a newborn child. So here we are. But yeah, and like here, this was like, you know, organizing my baby shower and like who to invite and my baby registry. I loved using the stickers, and I want to use more stickers. I actually bought a bunch of stickers. I will go over that at some point, but yeah, I just want to use more stickers. And yeah, back to the like, it's pretty blank. Um, Here I wanted to do like, one of my goals was to learn more computer languages, but I don't know. I don't want this to be a focus anymore. I have enough of like analysis work that I'm learning at work. So I don't, I kind of want to focus more on like the fun stuff, you know, outside of work. That's fun to me, and just a little bit more creative, because I feel like I don't get a lot of room for being fully creative at my job. So I kind of want to have that as like my me time, I guess, like outside of work. Um, and then this was for my MBA. Finally graduating next April. And so I only have one class to track next year. And I think it'll be easier to do. I'll just have one spread. That's it. Nothing crazy. But yeah, I'm just so excited to be done, and then I can focus on the fun stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much like how this year went. There's definitely a bunch of things that I see that I want to bring over to the cousin again. But I think I just need to work out, like, again, just having one place for one thing and making that my place where I track it, and not having multiple places and then getting lost and just forgetting what I did. So I'm probably going to take the next like week or two to try and figure that out. And then once I have that figured out, I will then share my plans in another video. And probably also go through all the fun, cute stickers that I got myself for next year. But yeah, I'm just going to leave this at that for now. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm like really excited for this. And I will speak to you guys later. Bye.